Hi everyone, Velvet here, and I have some stories for you today. But before we get started, can you please do me a huge favor and like, comment, and subscribe? It'll help the channel out and it'll get you more videos like this. Let's get to it. And our first one comes from Grandcombe 3714. Am I the beehole for moving out of my parents' house when my brother and his family moved in? There's a whole lot of unnecessary backstory that I will leave out. I rented my parents' house after they retired and moved south. I paid slightly below market rate. The plan was for me to save up and eventually buy the house at a great price. They would then give the money to my brother as a part of their estate. My share was the subsidized rent and a very subsidized purchase agreement. Everyone thought this was fair, until my brother's wife started running up debts they couldn't cover. This led to them losing their home and needing help. I love my brother and my nephews, so when my mom asked if they can move in, I talked to my husband and we agreed. We are all in the process of adopting two siblings, but they're still not there. It was only going to be temporary, so why not? Half off the rent for a few months would totally help us with the down payment and the expenses. They moved in February. When March rolled around, I sent and transferred my usual rent to my parents. My mom called to ask me where the rest was. I said I assumed that Brad was paying the other half. Nope, I had to pay all the rent. I asked why I had to pay for them to stay in my house. My mom said it wasn't my house yet, and that I was being mouthy. Oh, okay, well, screw you too then, Mom. I saw the writing on the wall. I paid the rent and started looking. We had a good amount saved up, and we didn't need a big old house with lots of maintenance issues we had been handling. We paid the full rent in April as well, but we moved out into the house we closed on. It was ready for immediate possession. With my husband and I having decent income and a 25% down on it, it went smoothly. The only downside is that it's a much smaller yard. But it has about a block away from it has a public park, so we aren't losing much. I did tell my parents we were leaving. May 1st, I got another call from my mom. She wanted the rent. I said I wasn't living there anymore. She said I was breaking our deal. I said that our deal never included me paying for my brother's living expenses. She said that they couldn't afford to cover the mortgage without my rent. Oh, it sucks to suck, doesn't it? I told her to get my money from my brother. He was still working. She said he was trying to pay his debts. Okay, that's their fault. Why are they trying to punish you for his wife's stupidity? I said that his wife should get a job. I could write a much longer post just on this discussion. Long story short, she said I was being cheap and vicious to my brother and to my parents. We're settling into our newish house and I just ignored them for a while. But I'm wondering about maybe if I'm wrong. Am I the beehole? Hi OP. No, you are not the beehole. You were pretty much a fantastic tenant. You were paying everything on time. It sounds like you were doing maintenance on the home because you complained about it. You know, when you're trying to get your new home that you don't want a big house with a ton of maintenance. And then your mother just alters the deal and says, oh, your brother's coming. And he just gets to sit on his arse because he has debt? Nuh-uh, that's not how it works. That's not how that works at all. And nobody else cares if you had debt. You better pay them, what you owe for living there. If he's living there, yeah, he's got to pay half. And that's a fantastic deal. Only paying half for, rent while you failed and pay off your debt. You know what I mean? And shame on your mom for doing that to you. Why should you be punished for his stupidity? Well, his wife's stupidity and his stupidity too, because he should have caught that. But you did the right thing by just getting out of there, because yeah, the writing is on the wall. The way she handled it shows that she favors him more than you, and she's going to treat you like crap because she thinks she can walk all over you and still get money from you. You did the right thing by moving out, and yeah, ignore him. If you want to go talk to him later, that's fine. But enjoy your new house, OP. You are not the beehole. Our next one comes from Electric Throwaway. Am I the beehole for not letting my sister and her kids live in my house? I, a 25-year-old female, am an electrician. I started my apprenticeship at 17 and was hired immediately by my sponsor after I received my license. The reason I chose a trade was that I grew up in a trailer with my mom and sister. Yeah, it's a smart idea to go into a trade. Kind of wish I went into a trade and you got work all the time, but back to the story. And I wanted to own a house since I could remember, and being in the trades gave me access to a stable job and access to more money sooner. My partner, a 29-year-old female, Thea, is a plumber. Ooh, double trade, that's good money. And we have scrounged and saved. In the end, we bought land, built a tiny house in an uptown area of a city. It has 2 bedrooms and 1 bathroom. Oh, 1 bathroom, that kind of sucks. You got to at least have like a bathroom and a half. It does, you know what I mean? You always want an extra toilet. You never know. But back to it. One of the bedrooms is our reptile room. Oh, that's cool. As I keep snakes. Oh, I love snakes. Snakes are cute. I'm sorry for interjecting, but snakes are adorable. And Thea keeps bearded dragons. We are child free and happy in our home. My sister Lucy, a 34-year-old female, is a waitress and has 3 kids, a 4-year-old male, a 3-year-old male, and a 2-year-old male. Her husband just left her for a woman my age, and she's left without his income to raise all 3 kids on her own. Her husband bought out half of the house during the divorce, and that left her with the kids living with my mom in a trailer. Ooh, that sucks. I could admit, I didn't grow up in the safest of areas, and was carrying a knife when I was a teenager, because of the danger. Because of the safety issue, Lucy came to Thea and I and begged us to let her and her sons move in. She said we'd have to get rid of our reptiles or keep them in our room. Our sons could have the other bedroom, and she would sleep in our kitchen on the air mattress. She said nothing about paying us rent or helping us around the house. Oh, it's a no then. I'm sorry. Someone, you know what? I don't mind helping my family members for a minute, but if you came in, hey, yeah, well, all of my family loves dogs, my family I care about. But if they said, oh, yeah, you gotta get rid of your dog for us to move in. No, I'm not getting rid of my dogs, you crazy, crazy person. But back to it. I told her no, because 2 toddlers and a kid, and a little kid who was about to start kindergarten, aren't suitable to be in our home. True, it's a small home. You don't have the space, and we don't want too many people in our house. She said that we live in a better part of town with better schools, that she needed our help. I told her we didn't have the room, and I was sorry, but I could hook her up with some journeyman I knew, and she could get started on an apprenticeship that pays better than her current job if she needed extra money. Oh, that's nice. That's actually really nice of you. You know how hard it is to get into those things? It's nice to have someone, you know what I mean? It's nice to know someone who can help you out. She called my job and Thea's job dirty blue collar trash. Okay, so she's coming to you for a favor, a humongous favor, that's going to be a huge burden on you and your girl. And she's over here calling your jobs that afforded you a nice plot of land and a nice house, you know, a nice little house, trash. People are stupid with that crap. I'm sorry, but trade jobs are kind of the way to go nowadays. You're pretty much guaranteed to make money. And eventually, once you've done, putting your time on that, you open your own thing, your own, I believe you said you're an electrician, your own electrician job, your own plumbing, your girl can open her own plumbing, you know what I mean? There's money in them hills. But people tend to look down on that type of stuff. I don't understand why it's programmed in our heads to be like that, but that's just the way it is, and it's sad. But back to the story. And left our home. She posted about how we wouldn't let her stay online. And now my relatives are messaging me about, how could you let a single mother? First of all, who cares that she's a single mother? That ain't your fault. That's her fault for choosing a guy who wasn't a good man. Or maybe she did something to him. I don't know their story. Who knows? And then these ones, oh, I hate it when people try to put you down for, making your life more harder or putting more of an inconvenience on you. Why don't the people telling you, how could you let a single mother and 3 kids be homeless, why don't they let her move in? But back to the story. How they're your blood and you owe your sister better than that. No, you don't. Blood doesn't mean a lot nowadays. I've had blood and I don't talk to a lot of my blood. But back to it again. I feel like a complete a-hole, even though Thea told me I had every right to not want them in our house. Am I the b-hole? No, you are absolutely not the b-hole. It is not your obligation to take care of your sister and her kids. If she was nicer and wanting to I still wouldn't. The house is too small. I just don't want that inconvenience. Maybe if they can come over and spend a night or something while they're doing something, maybe, I don't know. But sounds like she needs to get her ass out there and work. You were really nice enough to basically hook her up with a sweet trade job. Like I said, trade jobs, man, they start good, and then you open your own business in that trade, and then they end good as long as you don't do anything crazy with your finances or anything like that. She's being an idiot. OP, no, you're not in the wrong. No, you shouldn't have to inconvenience yourself in your own home that you and your significant other worked hard to get. Screw that. No, OP, she's got to figure it out on her own if she doesn't want to accept your help. Not the b-hole. And our final one comes from Active Nature 807. Am I the b-hole for firing my time-blind niece from babysitting over the phone? I have 3 kids. They are not old enough to be left at home. They are 10, 8, and 7. Oh, 2 more years for the 10-year-old. That's when I started getting left at home. We have a babysitter, but she is in college now and can't do it. I have a niece that is 16 and she has high-functioning autism. My wife and I agreed to let her babysit when my sister asked. Easy way to have a babysitter, and she gets pocket money to spend. She babysat last week, and she was late. We were able to get to our event, but it's a bit annoying, which understandable. I hate being late, especially if it's for an event. The whole night went well, and the kids had a good time. I informed her that she can't be late since we have places to be. Today, my wife and I had to get to a work function, and we needed to be on time. She was supposed to babysit, but she was 20 minutes late. I called her and told her not to come, pulled a favor from my neighbor, and we left. I got a call from my sister, pissed that I had fired my niece, and it was not her fault. She had time blindness. This is a new thing to me, time blindness. Maybe it's the way I was raised. I was raised to leave super early to, not be late. I think this is a stupid thing made up for people who just can't manage their time or just lazy and don't want to be there. Time blindness is an extremely stupid thing to me, and I don't see it as a real thing. But back to the story. That my niece has been very upset about being fired, and personally, I think it's a good life experience. Better to find out before she gets a job where you clock in. My sister called me a jerk, and my wife is thinking maybe I was too harsh. No, you weren't. Even if she agrees that her being late is an issue. No, you weren't too hard. I believed you were just right. You didn't scream at her. You didn't yell at her. You just say, you're fired. You failed to meet the job requirement, and one of the requirements is to be on time because you guys have places to be. And her time blindness, some made up crap, her time blindness is causing you guys to be late, and that's affecting you guys negatively. You need someone who can do the job. Good thing you guys had cool neighbors. So with that, no, OP, no, you're not the beehole. I believe you were just the right amount of stern. You know what you needed to be. Yeah, you had to fire her. She's failing at the job miserably. Thank you for making it to the end of the video with me, and can you please do what I said in the beginning, and like, comment, and subscribe. It really and truly does help the channel out, it helps it grow, and it helps you get more videos like this. Velvet out.